And let's turn our attention to the United States, where President Joe Biden has called on Americans concerned with reproductive rights to vote for Democrats in midterm elections, promising to push a bill in Congress that will protect the right of abortion nationwide if his party wins next month. President Biden said in a speech on Tuesday that he would sign legislation early next year codifying Roe v. Wade, the landmark Supreme Court ruling that had ensured a constitutional right to abortion, if Democrats retain control of the House of Representatives and expand their majority in the Senate. The conservative majority on the top court in the United States overturned Roe in June, igniting outrage among abortion right advocates and Democratic lawmakers.
Congressional Republicans are doubling down on their extreme positions. Kevin McCarthy, the Republican leader of the House, has said that if they take control of the House, our work is, quote, far from done. He wants the United States Congress to pass a law that would ban abortion nationwide. Senator Lindsey Graham called for an abortion ban that criminalizes doctors and nurses who provide medical care for their patients in need. If Republicans get their way with a national ban, it won't matter where you live in America. So let me be very clear. If such a bill were to pass in the next several years, I'll veto it. But we can't let it pass in the first instance.
And for more on the U.S. abortion controversy and the midterm elections, the publisher of New Americans magazine, Deba Wajai, joins me from Columbus, Ohio. Good to have you join us.
Much.
Now, the Democrats have been running election ads on targeting abortion rights or focusing more on abortion rights as a way to whip sentiment for the midterm elections, which is just barely 3 weeks away. But how important is abortion rights in this election when you compare it to other issues like rising cost of living, the economy, jobs, crime, and inflation?
Well, to the states that are determining states, like what we call the swing states, is very important in terms of the campaign that the Democrats are carrying out in those states. We know states that are conservative and nature in voting. Those states, most times, it really doesn't matter whether you are carrying out a campaign on abortion rights or no abortion rights. If I take Columbus, as an example, comparatively, the voting trend since the early voting started has not been, like it used to be compared to other early voting when it comes to midterm election. Hopefully, probably to pick up, but at this moment, it's not showing any, kind of rise in terms of voting. So it depends on the determining states, like I said, the swing states, how much campaign is done and how much mobilization is done to be able to say whether these abortion rights advocates are able to make the necessary impact that is expected. But as at now, what is happening on ground here, Columbus, it's just like normal midterm election where you don't really see people going out to vote like in election when it comes to a presidential candidates.
We know that in the last election, the threat to democracy, and that was because of President Donald Trump and some of the statements and actions he had taken in office, was a very big issue in that election. And in fact, perhaps that was one of the major reasons that President Biden won that election. But when you look at America today, do you think that, Americans would vote, would take or put the issues around abortion rights above issues around cost of living? And is it an effective strategy for Democrats to focus more on abortion rights?
Yeah, it is. For example, the president has is, he has made a promise. He made a promise yesterday that if people vote for abortion, if more Democrats are voted in, his first priority is to send a bill to the House for, abortion right, to make it, constitutional. But the issue is how much, is this going to, how much impact is it going to make? When you talk about, the issue of inflation and everything that it has to do with, it's as a global issue, and so the abortion issue kind of take priority, but the Republicans will talk about that and want, get people to their own side. And so this has to now be a competition of winning the independent voters who are always, there to be won by either of the party. And so what we have right now on ground is, you have the Democrats, you have the Republicans. In a state like Ohio, you have the Republicans. And so you have to now appeal to the independent, voters to look at whether you're talking about abortion, whether you're talking about inflation, to be able to get the right votes. For us,
I guess the independents will play a key role in deciding who takes control of Congress. But again, I wish we could talk about the role that the President Biden's approval rating, which is not so good at the moment, will play in this election. But, my time is up. Thank you so much for talking to us. Deba Wadiai.
Thank you very much.